Hey, you are along for the ride with Mad Dog and Cole Kit Kat Farrell.
Arenacross is like if you left Supercross in the oven too long.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Oh, man. Our man Evil just living in the sunlight, flying through the air. Man, unbelievably good words to live by. Everyone should take a minute and live in the sunlight. Uh, that being said, the Knievel family, sad news this last week that Robbie Knievel passed, and our deepest condolences, thoughts, and prayers for the Knievel family and the Knievel legacy. Um, you know, Evil was always my hero, and I think I kind of underwrote some of the stuff that Robbie did, and in rewatching a lot of it in the last week, I'm like, holy cow, he
Yeah.
was he, he did a lot of really difficult things.
Yeah, I think he's almost underappreciated for the fact that he took on the Knievel baton. And
Yes.
it's almost like as if he was his own guy. It would be more evident how gnarly some of the stuff he did
Yeah.
was.
Yep. I agree completely. I remember watching the Grand Canyon jump live, and being like, that was an Evil style bounce off on the landing. Um and I remember that he was like, leave me alone, help me get up. I want to wave at everybody and walk. And I think there was a couple of people like helping him because he was a little wavery, but anyways, yeah, good memories. Robbie, thank you. Evil, thank you. Um, may both race in peace. With that, I think we're going to push right over into the recap of Dakar because we are all about it on the last episode. Um, man, Cole, hit me with your thoughts real quick.
Such a crazy year. When they moved to Saudi Arabia, nobody thought that there would be issues with rain and flooding like we had in South America. I like the mustache cup. Um, so to see how many trials and tribulations they had with the weather this year, it actually made it more exciting for us sitting at home because we didn't know if the stage the next day would be able to commence. A lot of the scenery, I know that the TV production people loved it because it looked like the hills of Ireland in those first few stages. I didn't know any grass existed in the country of Saudi Arabia, so that was really exciting. And most importantly, most of all, the American guys are safe and had excellent results. So for that, I am grateful.
Yeah, we're man, I watched it, after you got me the hookup to on where to watch it. Um I watched, caught up on all the episodes. Of course, I was gone last weekend at AMA Arenacross Championships presented by Kicker Audio in Prescott Valley, Arizona. And we'll get to that, but I missed 4 days. So um I got caught up, and man, the what you were saying, like the rain, who would have guessed, for one, um, and for two, that it would be such a huge factor right out till the end, really. Um, but yeah, my boys, Seth and Mitchie, made it home safe. Um, I think, I'm waiting to hear back, but sometime in the next couple of recordings, we're going to have Mitchie on. Um, and at some point, in the next little bit, I'd love to have them both on, but uh, it was entertaining. I felt like the TV coverage was hugely slighted against the Americans. Um, they're covering even no matter what class, whether it was the cars, the trucks, motorcycles, T3s, T4s. Um, but of course, my passion and was with the T3s and motorcycles. Um, and they're covering, Chilean 16th place motorcycle riders instead of the kid from America that was in second overall a large portion of the race. And I mean, I guess you just have to expect it because Dakar is Dakar and it's one of those things, but I wouldn't feel good if I didn't say something about it. And that
Yeah,
and the
no, I'm glad you
dollar,
did. It's your
yeah,
platform to do so. So
yeah. Well, and it just, I don't know. It irritates me almost as much as the commentator they had for T3, um, which Lord knows why they had her only doing T3. But man, if I could watch T3s and listen to fingernails on the chalkboard and read subtitles, I'd be a happier guy.
see, I would love for Mitch and Seth to watch the highlights back with that lady's voice and see how they feel about it.
Yeah, actually, we should recommend that and then get them both on the show.
We'll poke the bear a little.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, that being said, the conditions and the people. I mean, holy cow, the competitors doesn't matter what class they're in. The kid that I worked with, well, he's not really a kid, but the kid I worked with at Vegas to Reno a couple of years ago that won the stock UTV class, uh, Akira Mira, I believe, according to my closest translation, won the production class. I don't know where it classified, but he's a Land Cruiser racer uh, and Team Toyota, and it appeared he did very well. He did have some. It was hard because I'm using Instagram translation, and it's not always point on.
True enough. Yeah, you gotta. That's part of the fun of watching this race, right? Is doing your own research, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And by the way, in case you're wondering, I am currently in a Hampton Inn in Guthrie, Oklahoma. Um, and thanks to the Hilton Group for the upgrade, I got an upgrade from a standard king to a studio king room, which it's kind of nice. Um, so the big thing is, I have the premium Wi-Fi, so hopefully we don't lose our feed here, and everything will be good there.
Don't you dare
And
jinx this.
yeah, right. And I was fortunate enough to get in yesterday and spend a little bit of time at Kicker headquarters yesterday evening and again this morning. And I think that's perfect time to stop and thank our partners, Kicker Performance Audio at kicker.com, for all your 12-volt audio needs and your personal audio needs. Check them out, whether it's car, boat, tractor, sandrail, golf cart, motorcycle, big bagger, little sporty, whatever. Kicker.com, they got you covered. And of course, Bomber Floating Eyewear, bombereyewear.com. Tommy and his group, has a goal. They want to be the Levi's of sunglasses. They want you to have multiple pairs and for them to just be comfortable. And I'm telling you, you know, they're on to something. They are achieving. So, everything from safety lenses and safety glasses, all the way to polarized sunglasses. They all float. And my pair is not only polarized, but they're OSHA approved safety lenses. So it's kind of the double whammy. Uh, Bomber Floating Eyewear, bombereyewear.com. Of course, the Premix podcast, and our man Cole and his love for desert, and he wants to share his love for desert racing through photography and media. You can find them at the Premix Podcast on Instagram, and of course Kelsey Morale Film. We've started to get some of our now production edits done on the videos, and so we've started to upload the videos. When you're listening to this, hit us up on our YouTube at Mad Dog Media, MAddog Media, and look for our logo. Um, and we've already got, I think we have 3 episodes up, and the fourth one is scheduled to go up Saturday. So
Exciting
we
stuff.
yeah, we've got throwing some shorts up there and some little, there's some Mad Dog vintage stuff up there. So definitely all cool. Uh yeah, man, that Dakar, it was for me, it was difficult. Um, just the anticipation. Like I got up every morning checking, Seth and Mitchie's Instagrams. And then, of course, Red Bull Desert Wings, Red Bull Offshore Junior Team, the whole Red Bull Factory Can-Am Off-Road South what something. What, I can't remember what they are, but
Yeah, it's something to look forward to every morning when you get up.
yeah.
Um, just
Well,
with our time zone, it's unfortunate that we can't really follow the race live realistically because you'd be up
yeah,
all night. But it's
yeah.
amazing to wake up to the results.
Which I know Seth's parents did, were religious about waking up in the middle of the night, staying up and watching it all night. So um, kudos to them. I feel like they kind of have to.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I don't think Seth would care, but I'm a parent. I get it. So
yeah. I don't think they
um,
would sleep through the night if they didn't.
no, I'm sure they wouldn't. And I'll tell you, getting up in the morning, just the anticipation and like just literally praying that they made it through another stage, and as you got close to the end, it was like, okay, you know just have make sure Seth finishes the stage, um and realistically, I mean, up till the last day, I mean, I was still hopeful that he could make up, that sad to say, I have a personal relation this AJ, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but I have a personal relationship with Seth. um I just hoping that, AJ blew 2 tires and had to limp it in and lost an hour and 5 minutes or something. And because, I mean, realistically, with 2 days to go, I think he had it down to 53 minutes or something like that. And that's really not that much in Dakar.
No, we've said it 1,000 times on the show. It doesn't take much to get that back as far as someone else having a mistake.
Right. And kudos to AJ, man.
Amazing. Just to have another American on top of the box.
Yeah. Yeah. And he ran a great race, He obviously when you're everything's aligned when you're running on top of the box most of the race.
Yep.
He did have a close battle going, and I'm not sure he could have caught Guillaume whatever. Um, but there again, He was 30 minutes behind or something, and Guillaume had an issue. I believe he blew a tire and got stuck in the mud or something, and dropped completely out of the rankings. Ended up breaking something.
Man, can you imagine leading all that time and dropping that far down would just be the
Yeah,
ultimate kick to the head.
yeah, for sure. Well, and I mean, if you reflect back, Mitchie, uh, won the first stage he won, put him in first overall. I think it might have been like stage 5 or something. And then the next stage he couldn't complete it,
Yeah,
and
and then you're
was
out of contention.
out of
So
the overall. And man, he did put the hammer down. I think he ended up pulling 5 stage wins, which still, the T3 lightweight prototypes are highly competitive. They're no longer golf carts. They're not rhinos with beefed up shocks. Um, this is a well thought out, highly competitive class. And so to put 5 wins on anybody, that's pretty good. Of course, Seth is the master of stage wins as it stands for not only Americans but for everybody. But same thing happened to him last year, man. You know, he won the stage, was in first overall, and broke on the second, broke a diff or something on the second stage, and was out of the overall, and came back swinging and won every other stage
yeah, just
in
to
the
show what would have happened had
yeah
that mechanical not happened.
yeah, for sure. So, and it's exciting. I love watching the bikes in the unknown quarter out in the big dunes. Those guys just, I mean, their balls are bigger than their bikes are, man. Some of those guys were just hucking it.
So crazy. Skylar Howes even said something to where he knew that the direction was different from years past. So they were running up to the faces of the dunes. So he said that he knew that he could launch over the backside and be safer than instead of going the shallow side and dropping off. And there were so many videos of him just completely blind. It's it's not like you know
Yeah,
what realistically you don't know if that's an 80, 90, 100 foot, million foot drop on the other side, but he just sent
true.
it
Yeah.
just to pick up time. I mean, that's a lot of courage.
Yeah. And wasn't Skylar the one that hucked it and did the heel clicker?
Yeah, he did a no footer and then he came down and racked his nuts and then tipped it over.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was a looked like he was trying to throw a heel kicker or a heel clicker.
Man, I don't know how you get it around the tower, but if you could pull it
Yeah,
off, that would
I
be
don't think he
impressive.
could, but um and a shout out to, what was the young kid, the young independent kid,
Mason Klein, who had
Mason
an
Klein.
accident right there towards the end, and he was
Yep.
running top three. So, obviously, very happy that we had so many Americans do so well. But I can't get over. I hope this goes away here soon, but I can't help feeling this despair because we had Ricky drop out so early on the bikes. Then Skyler was leading the whole darn thing. Unfortunately, didn't wrap it up. And then Mason Klein, who was third the whole time, as darn near a privateer, and was unable to finish. So I'm very proud of Jones and Mitch and Seth and everybody, but it definitely stung considering how things went for us Americans.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, but so many of those guys are probably like Seth said, um, you're doing it and you get it done, and you're like, on the last stage, you're like, oh man, I'm so ready for a break, and you get done and you're like, can we do that again? Um, I'm sure so many of those guys are there, and it's I can't imagine it. It's unbelievable, the mental, physical, just overall test. I mean, the other side of that coin, there's a physical side, but the mental side, um, man, you can't make a mistake for 15 days.
No, the
So
level's just that high.
they're so tough. Um, And that being said, I want to give one more shout out to Mitchie because he, 5 stage wins um, in a brand new prototype car. I mean, as far as I know, he hadn't been in the MC5 until a couple of months ago.
Yeah, and then I knew that you said that he went over a little early to test, get a little bit more seat time in the car, but even still, incredibly impressive.
Yeah, I think he ran one of the final rally raids of the year or something like that, um, and won it actually. But brand new prototype car. I mean, in essence, first year in competition, and it's a hybrid.
Imagine how those guys are going to be next year.
Yeah, and it's from France, which so is the Peugeot. Um, so I mean, obviously, Mitchie probably carried the entire car on his shoulders the whole race, but that's just no. I'm just kidding.
Did we not just patch up our argument with France last
Oh,
week?
yeah, we did. You did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I take that. I regret to admit that Peugeots are from France.
You know why they don't have a white flag in Dakar? Two reasons. One, it's not a lap race. You already know where I'm going. All right, I'm sorry, France. I'm sorry.
Oh, I knew where that was going. That was too good. Too good. And let's get on to the AMA Pro Arena Cross presented by Kicker Performance Audio Championship Series from Prescott Valley, Arizona, Finlay Toyota Center. Um, man, you know, holy cow. They did a good job. Promoters did a good job of building the track. It was a fast track.
It looked really cool.
Yeah, yeah, it was brutal, but it was fast, man. It was like 20, I think they ended up running fast times for 23s.
Wow.
Nuts, nuts. Um, One of the coolest things, and I'll get to that in just a sec, but uh, Prescott Valley, Arizona is, who knew? But that race was sold out.
That is a golf clap to the town of
Yeah,
Prescott.
yeah, for sure. It's huge. And great job to the new owners of the AMA Arena Cross Championship presented by Kicker Audio. They're doing a good job of promoting. They're doing a good job of filling seats. Um, Man, the hot ticket though was Supercross got rained out.
Yep. So for historical purposes, the second round of Supercross at Oakland was rained out so bad to the point where they could not build the track. And Oakland is a very old stadium and not a nice facility to begin with. So a day early, they had to call it. And Arena Cross jumped at the opportunity and said, "Hey, you guys come on down. We'll have a nice bonus for you."
Yeah, they actually doubled the purse to win the pro main, either pro main. There's two of them, from 2,500 to 5 grand.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so there was a lot of privateers, and honestly, I don't remember their names, and I'm hoping you have it. Um, but there was a lot. I believe at one point, they told me they before like afternoon practice or before the first practice, uh, they had already had 18 Supercross pros
Wow.
registered to race. So it was a massive field. There's probably 50 bikes, man.
Holy cow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great that the riders had some way to make money that weekend and the Arena Cross jumped at the opportunity. And also the fact that all of us who were so excited for round two of Supercross nationwide was now heavily focused on the Arena Cross series.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had Vital MX and Racer X and everybody all focused now eyes on Arena Cross.
Yeah, and that was very good for our series. The numbers were insane. Um, and there was a lot of action. Um, it's one of those where you hope that our AX guys, put up a fight with the Supercross guys, because the AX guys are all blah 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 about Supercross, and the Supercross guys are all blah 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 about Arena Cross, and it's like the proof's in the pudding now. I think that I would say they're both 50% right.
Yeah. And yeah. And my first concern is these guys who are chasing the Arena Cross series about them getting punked out of a paycheck from somebody who's coming down from the Supercross series, But I guess it comes down to show what you got and put up or shut up, as raw as that sounds.
Yeah, and the top Arena Cross guys showed well. You know,
Yeah.
Once again, our boy Kyle Peters topped the podium in Pro Main One. Um, and I thought it was funny. I caught him after practice and qualifying, and he qualified third, right behind two Supercross guys that were Cade. Is that right?
Cade Clayson. Cade
Okay,
Clayson. Yep.
Cade Clayson, and the other guy, uh, number 84. I
84. Let me see if I can find it real quick, but keep it
think he
going here.
I think he won the second pro main. Um,
Oh, Mitch Harrison.
yeah, he was pretty racy. So, um, but I watched the qualifying. I was able to break away and watch the qualifying session. Keep in mind, by the way, they had five groups of pros in practice and qualifying. So they had like pro A, B, C, D, and E, which was just quantification of the group, not talent level or times or anything like that. Uh, but KP came in third, and I think Betterman came in eighth in qualifying, something like that. Which they're 1 and 2 in the series, and I saw KP after, and I'm like, "Hey, good run, good run. You're looking pretty racy out there." I said, "Looks like you may have a little more in the tank," and he goes, "Yeah, I think we're good."
So he knew
So
something. Yeah.
yeah, well, and the funny thing was he went out in the first qualifying session, and the other guys were later, and so I I mean, he's a professional racer, right? And you were a semi-professional racer. I've raced on professional levels, and there's times when you go out and you're like, look, when we were circle track racing or go-kart racing, you know, it was like, look, I think this is what it's going to take to be the fast guy from what I've seen in practice. So I need you to go out and lay down one of these. And I feel like maybe that was the case. It's like, I think it's going to be you know, 23-7 or whatever it was, 23-8 is going to be pole, fast time. And then there was like a 23-4 and a 23-5. So, um, it's a dangerous game when you're the first one out in the first group.
Yep.
But he didn't seem to hurt him too much in the first main. So
Yeah, and then you can get into how the track's breaking in and whether it's too broken down if you're in qualifying E and F, whatever. So it's a big gamble all the way around.
for sure, and that dirt in Prescott was really really dry when it came in, but they did a good job of getting water on it. I didn't get to see any of the night program at all, so I don't know how the track held up. I wish I did, but I had a job to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I was quite busy. I talked to enough people that by the end of the night, um, I had almost no voice left. So it was superb. I heard the racing was fantastic. Um, and I think who won Pro Main 2?
You know what? I only have the results here overall. So unfortunately, they don't have it broken down by mains. So
Ah,
yeah, sorry. But if you're
that's all right.
listening, Arena Cross, some of us nerds at home need practice time breakdown every heat race, every main. So if we can get that going.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I was gonna try and look up on the Arena Cross real quick and see, um, but I don't know what did. Let me see. Main 2. Mitchell Harrison was first. Robbie
Wageman,
Wageman,
Supercross guy as well.
Austin Paletti, another
Austin
Supercross
Politelli,
guy.
family friend. What's up, Austin?
Politelli. Yeah, okay. Good
Ridden
call.
with him at Apollo a few times.
Brandon Ray,
Yep.
Dominique Thury,
Yep. Dominic Thury. Yep.
uh, Kyle Bitterman, Jared Lesher, Kyle Peters, and Julian Benek, Benek,
I think
and
it's Bennick.
Benek and Cade Clausen finished last
Crazy
or
how many
finished 10th.
Supercross guys are in that.
Yeah, well, the format, um, they do all the motos, and then you get to the main, and of course your gate pick and all that is in the main, or based in your performance in the semis, if you will, or motos, whatever they want to call them. And then man, after main 1, they invert the entire start for main 2, and from what I understand, Peters got caught up with somebody that had an issue on the start or a back marker or something right off the get go, and got tangled up. And, so yeah, he didn't, you know, he didn't have time to claw back from dead last to the top of the podium or even the top 3. So, there's definitely some competition there. And then main 1 I happen to have here right now too, and that was of course Kyle Peters, Cade Clayson,
Clayson. Cade Clayson.
Clayson,
Yep.
Clayson, Austin, say it,
Politelli.
Politelli, thank you, Grant Harlan. He's another Supercross guy, isn't
Yep.
he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Robbie Wageman,
Yep.
Brandon Ray, Devin Harriman, Jared Lesher, and Dominique Thury and Julian Benek.
Yeah. So
So
like 3 Arena Cross guys.
yeah, and Bitterman, I think got caught up in a tough deal. So, um, and then not without drama. Um, and one of the coolest things, I was getting the booth ready, and I hear this, "Hey!" I turn around, and it's our boy Steinke. And so, hugs all around and everything. And I said, "Man, I'm not surprised you're here." I said, "It's good to have you back, dude. Have fun." He goes, "Yeah, I'm just here to have fun." He goes, "I'm gonna have a good time." And apparently he did have a good time until somebody messed with him. And then he had a really good time and broke the internet.
Yeah. He was talk of the town this week. So he and Cade Clayson are patching up their relationship, but yeah, some interesting things went down.
Yeah, and like I said, they didn't have closed circuit in the arena, and I was outside of the grandstands on the mezzanine, if you will. It's a ground floor there, but you know what I mean.
So are you caught up on what happened, or do you need me to fill you in on what
No,
happened?
I've only seen the back half of what happened. And now that being said, having run 3 or 4 years with the Arena Cross series, um, while Steinke was there, I know that um, usually he's not just gonna pick on someone. He doesn't just go, I'm going to pick on that guy. Like he's there to race and win. But if somebody pulls the trigger, um, it seems like his focus changes um, significantly. So
Real
yeah,
quick.
if you got it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And
so
I'll
for
share
you
something
and the
about
listeners
that.
at home,
Yeah,
basically what happened in the main is that they were going for the first turn. Cade Clayson was on a farther outside gate, and he came across. So Stanky's front wheel hit Cade's back wheel, and so Garrett felt that he was shorted and that it was a punk move. And so then afterwards, he waited until he was getting lapped and then he T-boned Cade Clayson to the moon to the point where there's a picture of Cade going backwards through the air towards the wall. So that was a little bit of redemption. And so then that ruined Cade's night. So he wasn't even able to skip the whoops the second main. He was a little sore. And I guess there was a conversation afterwards in the parking lot, which turned to a physical altercation, which turned to the AMA calling Cade and Garrett and a bunch of teams. And I guess that's Garrett's third strike in not too long of a time.
sure.
So we will see what happens from here.
Yeah, he's yeah. I did not know what happened. So I'm assuming Jared went down.
I believe so. Either he,
Yeah, when
yeah,
he
I
clipped,
didn't see that part of it. Yeah.
so he clipped front tire and he probably went down or something like that. Okay, I get it. Yeah, no, we there was kind of a similar situation in Mississippi in 2021 with Mike Alessi.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, and actually Alessi, you know, I know there's a bazillion haters out there, and you know what? I know Mike. I've spent time with him. You're wrong. That's what I got to say. He is a nice guy. He loves to race dirt bikes. Um, and there's a whole lot to that story that portrayed him poorly,
Yes.
but I don't think we need to cover any of that. So yeah, in Mississippi, first race of the year actually, and Steinke was there, and uncharacteristically, Alessi didn't get the whole shot, and so he was coming back up through the crowd, and there was a 90 or a 180 left, and Alessi ran him really hard, was on the inside groove, and when he popped the throttle, slid the clutch, popped the throttle mid turn, the bike jumped ruts. Well, Jared Stanke was on the outside in the rut, and Alessi's bike jumped over and into Stanke and knocked him down. And so I got to witness firsthand in person Stanke, you know, uh, playing hurt and bikes hurt or whatever right up until he took a shot at Alessi. But Alessi, being the KGO veteran, saw it coming and locked up the brakes and he missed him.
Yep.
Um, and but that continued post race because he took another shot at him. Um, and so post race, I believe they were talking to each other about how much they love their moms while they were holding on to each other's chin guards and jerseys, sitting on their bikes. So, um, yeah, it's not like it's not out of character when Jared feels like he's been done wrong. So, you know, um, that being said, for the AMA Arena Cross Championship Series presented by Kicker Performance Audio, uh, man, talk about publicity.
Yeah, just a perfect storm
Yeah.
between the Supercross guys coming in. It's a nice arena. It's a nice track. It's, shoot, Arizona's not too far for SoCal guys to get off the couch and come do it. So,
Yep.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was extremely happy to see all of the Supercross and motocross media turn all their attention to Arena Cross for the weekend.
Yeah. It was, the I believe the Arena Cross Instagram, and talking to Robbie today, received right about 1.5 million hits. Or
Holy crap.
yeah, yeah, just over basically Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Good for them.
So it's great. Really happy to see the series continue to grow. You know, I'm really proud to have been around to watch it grow. Um, if I think I'm in my fifth year now. I'm not quite sure, but anyways, yeah, and man, so I'm in Guthrie, Oklahoma. We're at the Lazy E Arena for round. I think they call it round 5 um, of 2023, but they ran the first 2 rounds in 2022. So, and I wasn't able to attend those. So I'm calling it round 3. Um,
Lorin's round 3. All right, I
yeah,
like it.
otherwise known as Guthrie 1.
Are they doing a
Uh,
doubleheader this weekend? Or are they
there's
coming?
not.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, that's not how radio works. We just talk at the same time, like the View.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
We can talk at the same time though, can't we?
yeah. That's why we pay for the expensive streaming.
Right. And that's what I thought. Okay, cool. I want to make sure because it's good when we talk over each other once in a while. Keeps people awake and lets them know that we're not reading off a script.
No, definitely not. If we
As a matter of
were,
fact,
we'd
I
be in
can't
bad
read.
shape.
Yeah, because I read real slow and only small words. Um, no, seriously though, yeah, so Guthrie 1, it is not a double header, but there is a Guthrie 1 and a Guthrie 2.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
so I believe way, way back on the very first concept schedule, Guthrie 2 was going to be Wichita, Kansas. Um, and I could look way back and find out, but I don't really think it's that important. Um, but I'm excited for it to be Guthrie 1, Guthrie 2, or OKC 1, OKC 2, as I think they're calling it. Um, so Oklahoma City is about 28 miles or 32 miles south of Guthrie.
Oh,
Um,
interesting. Okay.
so, it's all interstate. So it's like 75-mile-an-hour interstate. So it's a hop,
Yeah.
to the arena. Now, that being said, the Lazy E Arena is a historic arena, especially in the rodeo field. It is the largest equine arena in the United States, the largest indoor equine arena.
It is a massive, massive arena.
Yeah, dude, it's huge. And I know there's some surprises for the racers tomorrow. And by the time, I'm not going to say by the time we get this published because someone will take offense to it and he'll work all night and have it published tomorrow morning, Cole. So I'm not going to say that, but I can't wait for people to see the race tomorrow night. They can catch it live on Ride TV or Mav TV. Should be a good time. the track has got some surprises for the pros. It is going to be challenging
Okay.
and long.
That's what I was going to say because they can run one, two, three, 6 lanes, I think, right? As opposed to 4.
Yes.
Gotcha. I know that probably didn't make sense at first, but
Yeah,
yeah,
no, and it's also long
yeah, okay. So they
because
can get some real rhythms going then, huh?
I remember like I think it was Guthrie 2020. They had roughly 600 feet of rhythm section down one wall.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, yeah, it was the pros handled it, but when we're used to, let's say, 25-second laps, right?
Yep.
Um, in Guthrie in the past, I don't know what kind of times we'll see on the new track, but in the past we're seeing like low 50s, mid 50s, depending on the track design. I think that track in 2020 seems like fast time was like 56 something.
Which is actually a longer supercross time.
Yeah,
Supercross is
that
right around 53 seconds. To put that in
yeah.
a perspective, yeah.
Yeah, it was basically a supercross time in an arena that seats, whatever 5,000 people, and the bikes are straight out in front of you. Um, so yeah, no, I would imagine, I know on live TV they have to really keep an eye on time. Okay, so I don't know how fast the track's going to be time wise, but I know it's going to be more. I would expect it to be in the 30 to 35 to 45-second lap times from what I saw. There's some gnarly rhythm sections. Um, and there's some fast sections. There's a big double, which is always rad when they put the big double right in front of the like box suite, VIP suite restaurant and all that. Um, because you always get these great shots shooting back into the crowd of these guys from inside the track. And there's like, 1,000 people in VIP all looking up at the rider, and or it's so close, right?
Yeah,
So
some magnificent pictures come out of that.
yeah, the lead up to the double um is a little peaky. So I probably won't hit it with the Kicker Performance Audio Polaris General tomorrow.
Never say never, but okay.
Yeah, I've got our plan is to be able to do some running around the track a little bit. But I think I'm hoping there's enough room to run it around the basically, if you will, golf cart track on the outside of the entire track, gator track, whatever you want to call it. Um, because it is so big, they have to be able to have rapid response for the medical teams.
Yep.
So yeah, but it's a big track. And I was talking to Robbie today and I said, it looks pretty challenging. He goes, wait till you see the whoops.
Oof.
And they hadn't even cut the whoops in yet. So, yeah, it should be a very exciting day tomorrow. Um, and at that point, once we wrap tomorrow, it's extra cool for me because Kicker is in Stillwater, Oklahoma, which is again about 38 miles north of where I'm at right now, kind of northeast. Um, so I actually flew into Tulsa, spent the evening at Kicker yesterday, uh, went back in, spent a couple hours in there this morning. I had to replace a C clip on the axle on one of the axles on the General, and do a couple things there and run through a full systems check, and then motored out here and got things set up. but it's a real honor to be able to go into um, kicker headquarters, uh, like everything. We highlighted the new gold 50th anniversary subwoofers, and there's a lot of big things coming this year. It's their 50th anniversary, and I am so stoked to be working with them and so grateful to work with them. um, Man, we just, it's been busy times, and I got Guthrie 1, Guthrie 2, Reno, Denver. Um, so we've got some busy times coming, and I'm just I'm excited to see the laydown on the track tomorrow. That's the big one. That's
Yeah, I
going to
can't
be
wait. I can't wait to get my spy Snapchat from you.
yeah, yeah. You
But before
will
we get too off topic, I mean, think
yeah.
about if you're in Oklahoma area, you got Kicker Performance Audio, you have Arenacross this weekend, and then do you know what last weekend was? Was the world famous Chili Bowl sprint car
That's right.
racing. So I
In
imagine you
Tulsa.
get to do that back to back weekends out there in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Yeah, man, how cool would that be? Well, Chili Bowl goes on for what, a week now?
Yeah, I believe it's a week event. Huh?
Yeah, crazy. Um, but yeah, man, you're absolutely right. And then, it seems like there's always, I mean, just between Stillwater and Tulsa is Hallett Speedway. Uh, and it seems like they've always got something going on there. Um, you know, it's it's definitely motorsports culture state. And there's a lot of good riders um, in this area that will come in. And I know of a couple that are going to run in the pro class. And I know several. We even have I'm not sure if they're doing it this year, but I know we have a guy from Kicker that usually comes and runs in the B. Uh, he's a B rider, A rider, whatever, and the amateur program and
Oh, how
uh,
cool.
is actually really good, quite fast. So, um, yeah, man, we'll see. Tomorrow, it'll tell.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we'll have a recap soon, and we're just gonna get after it. So,
Perfect. Well, I'm glad you
yeah.
didn't have any. I'm glad for your sake you didn't have any crazy travel stories this time.
Yeah, it was pretty easy this time. Packed flight though. I flew into Tulsa, um, Vegas to Tulsa straight through. Pretty easy. Um, got a good boarding position. I was flying Southwest, so but it was a packed flight for sure. And about the only weird travel story is I got this um rental car. And I mean, Oklahoma has turnpikes, which are toll roads
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. You can't buy from Thrifty Car Rental, you can't buy the toll pass, the automatic toll pass.
Seriously,
They don't do it.
that's obnoxious.
I'm like, that's the dumbest thing ever. But if you go on a toll road and they get charged the toll, they're going to charge you the toll plus a handling fee.
Yep.
So
Yeah, they'll
it's
make it hurt.
yeah, it's a big sham. It's absolutely crooked. And I wish someone would look into it, the insurance commission or the toll authority or something, because basically, Thrifty Car Rental has you over the barrel to pay their handling fee. And that pisses me off.
They're a real Denver edition car rental. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, right. And then on top of it, I rented the cheapest thing I could get, um, which this time was a compact SUV. Um, and do you know what a compact SUV is?
I guess it's a like a crossover.
Yeah, like a crossover though.
Okay.
Like, and they're small, right? They're not big.
Uh huh.
Like I would consider my XC60, my Volvo XC60, a crossover or a compact SUV
Yeah, fair enough.
because it's pretty small,
And a beautiful
especially
car.
after, yeah, especially after having XC90 or
Yeah.
riding in like a Jag F Pace or whatever. Um, no, there's a much smaller SUV out there. Um, and the one I got blessed with was called a Honda HRV
Uh-huh.
or something like that.
I'm gonna look this up.
It's HRV or HRD. I don't think it was cool enough to be a D.
Yeah, because that would be Honda Racing Development.
Yeah, no, HR-V. It's a micro SUV. It's got a 7-speed transmission. The idiots were dumb enough to leave sport mode active with the paddle shifters, even though I think it probably only has like a Geo Metro 3-cylinder motor.
Oh wow, what
Um,
an ugly car.
oh, and it's hideous. Yes.
Ew.
Yeah. It does have
Honda,
seat
normally I got your back, but not tonight, man.
it does have seat heaters, which I approve of. Um, the electronics, trying to figure things out. There's like 17 buttons on the steering wheel. Um, and who knew that none of them turn the cruise control on? Oh, that's the dumbest thing ever. Um, and the car, it's gutless.
Yeah.
It's really gutless. Um, so there will be no performance review on that vehicle. Um, although I can tell you it does not like 80 miles an hour in fourth gear.
Why are you trying to blow it up or what?
No, I was testing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For
Yeah, I'm just
science.
product testing.
Gotcha.
I'm always curious when they leave sport mode engaged where the safety is, where it automatically shifts without your help.
Uh-huh.
And it's about like 5,500.
It's pretty high.
Yeah,
VTEC.
I guess. I don't know. It's
Jeez.
a
This
little
thing is
tiny
hideous. It's
motor.
like if a Cayenne and a Honda Pilot had a unwanted child.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly. Um, it's and it's very uncomfortable. So, there's that.
But it was the
Um,
cheapest they had.
yeah, it was cheap. So next week, I think when I come back next week, I think the cheapest thing they had was a compact or something like that. So who knows? I never know what I'm going to get. I
No.
mean, it,
Kind of the excitement of traveling.
yeah, that was the nice thing about last week was I was able to drive. Um, just a little in theory 4-hour
Hmm.
drive. So I took the XC60. I got decent mileage, although I drove a little fast. So uh, I did not take the dually because originally they predicted snow Saturday morning in the hills by Williams. And I had to come right back through there, and the 2-wheel drive dually probably wouldn't be enjoyable in snow.
No, and the Volvo is built for it, so
Yeah, it's all-wheel drive, and so um, and it's not horribly uncomfortable for me to drive. It's not my truck for sure, but um, you know, but yeah, good trip there. Nothing major to report there, and the flight out was good.
good.
It's nice to be able to have dinner with my kicker family. Although tonight I did the that was last night. Tonight I did Brahms, a Midwest go to man.
I was gonna
Uh,
say, to be honest, I've never even heard of it when you sent me a picture of the cup. So
yeah, you
I'm
got to
sure we
look it
have some
up.
Midwesterners screaming, but
Yeah, oh my dude, so good burgers, and uh, I had the chocolate strawberry banana milkshake.
packed with
Um,
protein, 22 grams, the cup said.
Yeah. Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, you're very attentive. I just have to go to with the small milkshakes anymore. I used to love getting their giant milkshakes, but I just can't. I just can't. That's like a whole meal, you
Yeah,
know?
and it makes it harder to wake up the next day, that thing sitting in your stomach.
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, it was really cool. And they're very economical. They have good food. So
Good.
tomorrow will be the probably the Boys and Girls Club concession. Get me a couple of $9 hot dogs or something, and you know, tis the life, right?
Life on the
So,
road.
yep. Hashtag Carney Life. Hashtag I work weekends. So, with that, we want to be sure and thank our. Oh, what do you got? Anything?
Nothing. Nope. Just glad to be
No.
back in the United States. And next thing I look forward to is King of the Hammers. And I've been saying it
Yeah.
all month, but it's crawling, and I can't wait for it to be here. That's all
No.
I got.
No motorsports report from overseas.
No, nothing. Nothing. Just that every time you're on the road in Jamaica, it's a race.
Oh, that's kind of
There
awesome.
are no lines, and there's many cut lines like rally racing.
Ah, really cool.
So in a 25 person bus, it's not that fun.
Oh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
But having to keep myself propped up without falling into the other people's seats, I felt like a real professional sidecar co-pilot. I felt, how I had to balance to keep myself up. I go, man,
Yep.
maybe there's a future here throwing my weight around. So
I believe there is, and we're gonna get to that because I've talked to more people about that idea recently. So we'll see what happens.
well, good.
Um,
But yeah, that's
yeah,
all I got.
well, that's cool, man. Thank you for catching up with me tonight, Cole. Of course, we want to thank our partners, Kicker Performance Audio at kicker.com, Instagram at Kicker Audio. All your 12-volt audio needs, be it personal or for your bike, boat, car, truck, side by side, whatever you need, kicker.com. Bomber Floating Eyewear at bombereyewear.com, and on Instagram at Bomber Eyewear. Uh, man, the Bomber Eyewear, they're almost indestructible. You can get them with OSHA approved safety lenses, polarized lenses, mirror blue. You can get them in all different colors, shapes, sizes. I think they probably have, I don't even know, probably 25 different lines of sunglasses. And personally, I'm kind of prefer the Boogie Bomb for my day to day, like I'm wearing now. OSHA approved polarized safety dark lenses, and they float. And that's at bombereyewear.com. Of course, Kelsey Morel Film at Kelsey Morel Film on Instagram, doing all our video production for us. And get ready, folks. We're on YouTube. And of course, last but not least, the Premix Podcast at the Premix Podcast on Instagram. That's ThePremixPodcastXYZ.
LMNOP.
Yeah. No, at the Premix Podcast on Instagram. And that's our good friend here, Cole, and his sharing his love for desert racing through photos and journalism. Um, and if you are a desert racer or King of the Hammers racer and you want some pictures, get a hold of him, drop him a message.
Hit me up. Get me out of the house.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have any questions for us or any suggestions or ideas, feel free to hit us up at MAddOG, MAddOG_media on Instagram. Send us a message. Yeah, beautiful shirt. Beautiful
Thank you.
shirt, Cole.
Prized
Loving it.
possession.
Yeah. I got to get you another one.
Yep. Someday.
Yeah, well, I have one.
All right.
You,
Well, I'll swing by Havasu real quick.
yeah, I have one for you. I think I have one or two,
Wow.
but you have to come get them in person.
That's hey deal. All right.
because
Deal.
I have some other things for you too, but um, those are still surprises. So
Oh, geez. All right.
anyway, yeah, man, I am grateful to be on the road, grateful to be doing what I do. I am super thankful to Cole and everything that he does. Uh, and with that, I think we're gonna call it Mad Dog out.